What was I looking at? Well, I knew exactly what I was looking at, but I wouldn't be surprised if my brain failed or even resisted to register what the image meant. I mean, I already knew that the voice actors of these characters, whose names I hadn't yet learned, would go on to bring me a new wave of inspiration and role models, and yet my brain couldn't comprehend what symbolism was being presented to me. A character uncharacteristically grinning a somber smile, flying through the clouds, saluting? What else was it supposed to mean? If that didn't sell it, the sad smile on my partner's face did. I remember that night semi-vividly. I remember how my partner turned to me to explain what the tribute meant, but their words are fuzzy in my memory. They were fuzzy in the moment, too. I just remember leaning back, melting into my seat and thinking, no, not again. If I had a nickel for every time I was introduced to a voice-acting legend who had already... Never mind. Either way, I knew the fate of knowing this knowledge. This actor was an arrow struck through my heart. To pull the arrow out now would be foolish. I'd die immediately from doing so. But to leave it in as it was would still cause an aching in my heart. This actor now stuck to me, bound to me, infinitely. Fate is cruel, and yet I trust that it knew what it was doing by introducing me to this actor. To him. To Rick May.
Did you know that he played Tevye in a production of Fiddler on the Roof? And he must have killed it.
There is a frightening chance that you have no clue who I'm referring to when I say that name. There is a horrifying chance that you have no image of any character that he has played in your head when you hear that name. There is a very real chance that you do not know who Rick May is. I'll spare you the dramatics, for now. Rick May was born on September 21st, 1940, in an unknown town in Canada he would call home. He was raised between there and Washington. He was an entertainer from the beginning, starting his love of acting with puppets and ventriloquism and magic tricks and acts. But it wouldn't be until his time at Roosevelt High School in Seattle did he find a passion in acting. His first ever onstage performance in a production of Heaven Can Wait. Ironic. Eventually, he would attend St. Olaf College in Minnesota as a part of the class of 1962. Soon after attending, he entered the Army, where he was assigned to bases in California, Washington, D.C., and Texas, though he would eventually find himself in Japan, where he was a lead entertainer coordinator for 2 years. During the same span of time, he began his voice acting career, starting with Asian Film International, where his voice was featured in now dubbed-over Japanese movies. When he returned, he settled down in the Seattle area. There, he served as the director of the Renton Civic Theater and Civic Light Opera in Renton, Washington. He would make multiple appearances in film as well. American Graffiti in 1973, Francis in 1982, The Chocolate War in 1988, and Child in the Night in 1990. It is also in the 90s where he would find his footing as a voice actor, starting with Peppy Hare and Andros of Star Fox 64 fame in 1997.
To hover, press Z and R. Come on, Fox, you can do it. Don't go dying on me, Fox. Never give up. Trust your instincts. Everything okay? Doggone it. You can also lock onto enemies this way.
Match for me. Ha ha ha. You can never defeat me. Hurrah!
Multiple voices for Claw in 1997. Pajama Sam 2's Wingnut in 1998.
Not a moment too soon, I see. Boy, I can't leave you guys alone for 2 minutes without everything getting all out of whack, can I?
Multiple voices for Thinking Things, Toonie the Loon's Lagoon in 1999. And Genghis Khan in Age of Empires 2 in 1999.
Siege weapons. We will crack open the Persian and European castles to reach the softer parts within. Genghis is pleased with our progress and with the legacy he leaves behind.
It is in between these years, sometime in 1998, does he begin work with the Imagination Theater. From then up to 2020, he played Inspector Lestrade in the further adventures of Sherlock Holmes as well as the classic adventures of Sherlock Holmes, with the last episodes of the radio series starring him being recorded in 2019 and broadcast in 2020. Rick May played the role of Inspector Lestrade longer than any actor in the entire history of broadcasting.
Well, I don't know any Ian Hunter Fleming, but while you were away, I was called to the home of a Mr. Hunter Fleming. I thought it was enough of a coincidence that you'd want to hear about it.
Jumping back to our previous timeline, before continuing his work in voiceover, he would retire from the Renton Civic Theater in 2001 to start his own theater company in Kirkland, Washington, as well as to dedicate himself to becoming a full-time actor, both on a stage and behind a booth. He was Marty Sardini in Dadfish and Freddy Fish 5, 2001.
No one will find Zamfia's deed now. Not with it safely locked in my wool safe and the combination cleverly hidden in this fake book.
You bet it will. Why don't you go ahead and take that old trading card?
Blimpo in Olo and the Sunny Valley Fair, 2002.
This is wonderful.
Blimpo was very happy.
I can't thank you enough.
A plethora of voices in SOCOM 2, 2003. Dr. M in Sly 3, 2005.
Please, keep your touchy-feely rhetoric to yourself. I can't stomach it. You crew's a bunch of dirty, attention-grubbing thieves. All of you, thieves!
Professor Quark in Valhalla, 2007.
The Gesundheit. Of course, the Gesundheit. Why did I think of that before? Watch out!
And, of course, the Soldier in Team Fortress 2, 2007.
Today is a good day. You've done me proud, boys. Every one of you deserves a medal.
As for the stage, he was a part of over 300 theater productions, be it acting or directing. Just a handful of his roles included Brutus in Julius Caesar, Benjamin Franklin in 1776, Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof, Willy Loman in Death of a Salesman, Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple, Alfred Doolittle in Pygmalion, and King Henry II in The Lion in Winter. The most impressive of this list would have to be his performance as Theodore Roosevelt in Bully, but his favorite role would prove to be the one he performed for 3 seasons, Matthew the Storyteller in Cotton Patch Gospel. But above any role he breathed life into, arguably most importantly, he was a teacher. From 2010 to 2020, Rick May taught voiceover acting classes through Rekindle School. In February of 2020, he suffered a stroke and was moved to a nursing home for rehabilitation. When his symptoms worsened, he was brought into the Swedish Medical Center in Seattle. Due to previous health complications and current conditions revolving around COVID-19, he was in critical condition. On April 8th, 2020, Rick May passed. 5 days later. 5 days later did the world know. 5 days later did the world weep. 5 days later. April 13th, 2020.
Charge! Move out! Let's go! Good work! Outstanding! Nice work! That hat is not mercenary issue, son. There's no room for fashionistas in the art of war. Son, your hat is writing checks your head cannot cash. That is not a hat. That is an excuse to kick your ass. That is not a hat. That is proof that you hate America. Do you call that a hat? That is a pile of nonsense. Son, your fashion sense has gone AWOL. You will not be missed. I never liked you. You were loud and ugly, and now you're dead. Amen. You're dead? That's good, amen. Godspeed, you magnificent bastard. You were good, son, real good. Maybe even the best.
I will never be able to accurately document what happened that day. I have friends who were there, 3-year-old posts, archiving it all, my own emotions looking back, but nothing will ever portray what it was like. The lack of something when seemingly nothing was missing. Not silence. There was just quiet. I think I get caught up with how infatuated I am with him, with Rick May, that I forget that, I'm not the only one. People love this guy. They love him. And they love his character and his voice and his dedication. It's just so nice to be reminded of that. It really is. Tributes were quick to be made. By the community. By those affected by him. Pluffy FX. Delphi. Daz MXD. iCandry Movies. Sorrel Sonic 18 Second. A Guy with a Name. Delusari. Sinfincree. HoovyTube. Mass Mustachio. Ronald DD. Marian Paddock. Nope.mp4. Mr. Sniper. TF Connect. Laurentiou. Conco Kitten. Metal Fortress. Darth Pugs. Erudite Films. Lazy Purple. And so many more. And, of course, Valve themselves. If you haven't caught on yet, Rick May voiced what would become his most famous role, the soldier for Team Fortress 2. It's a little indie game, barely got off the ground. Well, okay, I kid, obviously. But again, there is a chance that you might not know what that game is. So, quick history lesson. Team Fortress 2, or TF2, is a 16-year-old first-person shooter game released all the way back on October 10th, 2007. There are 9 different game styles, lots of hats, even more lore, an undying community, and unfortunately, I cannot let myself explain any further. We'd be here for hours. All you need to know is that the company that created the game, Valve, honored his legacy through a tribute of their own. It was a really big deal, as the company had left the game devoid of new content for what would have been 4 years. But no, this time it wasn't about the game. For the month of May 2020, a tribute was presented. The main menu was set to a class image of Soldier and was accompanied by a rendition of Taps, entitled Saluting the Fallen. Alongside this, 29 bronze statues were placed, scattered in the most active maps. These statues depict the soldier atop a marble pedestal saluting. A bronze plaque reads Rick May, 1940 to 2020. Quote, "That was one hell of a campaign, son." Unquote. If a player is to approach and stay by the statue's side, various voice lines will begin to emit from it. A few days after the update's initial release, the team behind Team Fortress 2 posted their respects regarding the passing of Rick May in a blog post on May 4th, 2020. May would come and go, and so did the tribute. That was until a permanent tribute was added on August 21st, 2020. On the Granary map, where the Meet the Team trailer for the soldier character took place, one of the bronze statues is placed inside of an out-of-bounds farm silo, and sever heads featured originally in the same trailer are lined up on the fence. Every year, on the 8th of April, all soldier statues reappear to commemorate the life of Rick May, leaving only the tribute in Granary when the day is over. And still, there is an overwhelming quiet. You know Rick May?
Rick May.
One of the voice actors I like.
Yes.
One of them who's dead.
Yes.
April 13th is the day that he died. And it's coming up soon. That stuck with me. I don't know. I guess that was like the moment where I realized, like, because those 3 voice actors, I didn't really know about their work until they had passed away. So that, like, impacted me a lot because I never got the chance to know them. I never got the chance to meet them. And I'm never going to get that chance. Started a project. I'm so tired. But I'm so happy. Killing me. I'm making progress.
I don't know if I'll
Despite
finish it
everything
in
my
time.
brain is telling me, I
And it's
am
more
making
than
progress.
just
And it may be slow and it may
thing
be
that
small.
I'm making
I
with
cannot
my
wait
hands.
until this is
It's
over.
something that's been in the
I
back
say
of
that
my
this
mind
project is
ever
killing
since I
me.
found out about him.
But at the same time, it's hard to treasure it now because I'm just not having a good time.
mean it when I say that this project is killing a part of me.
This was supposed to be
just hope
fun
that it's a
and
bad
educational and meaningful.
I so badly
It's
want to make this
been
special.
nothing but
The stuff that the good things
I
went
so
through,
badly want to
the
make
good
it.
parts, won't be
I
all
wish
for
I
nothing.
started sooner.
Because right now I feel nothing.
I have been working on a project for the past 2-3 months. Despite how often time is on my mind while living through this progress, it all becomes so discombobulated when I try to remember anything that I haven't documented. I forget that the words I'm writing will be aged the second this project is done, because it'll all finally be over. This project that I speak of, it is the one you are watching at this very moment. But still, writing this now, this part of the project, I can't help but think in the moment. If I try to think about the future, my thoughts consume me wholly and I'll just be wasting time. And if I try to think about the past, well, I barely can. My memory is unreliable, even when it's something as important and recent as this, as him. I can't say how long it's been since I haven't thought about him. Do you think about your legacy? The impact you leave on those whom you surround yourself with and those whom surround themselves with you? Do you think about what effect you have for the people you know, don't know, have yet to know, and will never know? How wonderful do you have to be to haunt someone with inspiration from beyond your grave? Perhaps there wouldn't have to be a legacy to uphold. Perhaps you'd know one less stranger and instead one more admirer. Perhaps you wouldn't have a need to unknowingly haunt that one admirer. Perhaps. But who knows? It's impossible to know. I am 3 years too late.
This has happened 3 times. That stupid number, 3. It's everywhere right now. It follows me. 13 does too.
That number has been following me, mocking me, killing me. 3 times over, this exact situation has happened. 3 times have I been too late to appreciate someone while they can still hear and respond to my accolades. 3 times. If only I had found out 3 years earlier. If only I had not waited until 2023 to do anything. The 3rd voice actor to fall into this pattern. The 3rd time I have been too late. The 13th, the 3 months I have wasted away working on this project. Why? Why is this number taunting me? What am I to do? How can I honor him when everyone else has had 3 years to move on? To heal? To be okay? How? There is something uniquely torturous about mourning in a situation like this, because the vast majority have had 3 years to collect themselves and their feelings over his death. Of course, I'd never dare to imply that people are no longer sad or have even fully moved on. That'd be crude of me. But rather, the community is simply all right. They are celebrating his life, mentioning him in brief and happy transactions, making light of it all. How? How is that possible? Do they not wish there was more information about him online? Or to know his personal connections and opinions to each of his roles? Or or to have real, documented data of his time on stage. How? How do they not tear themselves apart when they hear his voice? How have they collectively made peace with it all? How are they okay? Why am I not? Why? This pain, 3 years late, for the third time. This delayed grief. It is why I am not okay. Why I've dedicated myself to nothing but this project. Why I have spent hours cultivating information on the legacy he has left. Why I will show you what I have found during my search to gain closure. My 5th stage. Acceptance. Here is what I found.
Oh my God. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this is real. He felt the same.
Stop me if this sounds familiar, but I have a certain belief. It is the belief of artistic reincarnation. No matter the medium, photography, dance, sculpture, theater, painting, film, metalworking, acting, anything, it is present throughout everything. Think of it as a cycle, seeing something and then making something new out of it. Artist admiration into artist inspiration. Art affects other art, and in turn, artists affect other artists. And God, how Rick May affects me. I believe in this connection so deeply, but never did I think I'd find something that confirms this cycle of handed-down craftsmanship to be true. Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. Okay, well, technically Friday the 24th. I don't know what compelled me to work on the script for 3 hours straight, especially considering it was just any other day. I just got that rush of inspiration and decided to research on Rick May well into and then far past midnight, on a school night no less. But I'll remain to call the events that happened on this day as Thursday. So, Thursday, I am single-handedly deconstructing the wiki page for Rick. I am writing down every piece of information, clicking every link, creating what would eventually become Looking Past, a chapter of this project you heard a while ago. When I get through the meat of this surprisingly sparse page, I scroll to the references. A gold mine. So many links to look at, so many links to learn about, with just the second on the list being a very special article. On September 14th, 2005, at 12 o'clock a.m., the Seattle Times displayed an article written by Diane Wright, entitled, "Stage Chameleon Tackles Role of Teddy Roosevelt." Oh, that's right. Bully. Already one link in, and I had a decently sized artifact portraying one of Rick May's many stage presentations. The article taught a lot, more so about Theodore Roosevelt's past and how it ties into the production of Bully, but still, good information on this performance. The show was written by Jeremy Eldon and directed by Ann Ahrens. It would take place on September 17th, 2 p.m., 18th, 7 p.m., and 19th, 8 p.m., Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, respectively. It was hosted in the Wade James Theater, now known as Edmonds Driftwood Players, in Edmonds, Washington. The tickets were $10, and included with the experience would be a post-play dessert buffet. It sounds like a delight, and it's a damn shame I couldn't attend. Well, I wasn't even alive yet, so that might have been an issue too. And while all this information is great, it's not what stuck with me. No. That would be the quote given by the one actor in this one-man show, Rick May himself. Quote, "I was scared to bloody death," he said. "The more I know him, the more I admire him, and the more I feel really responsible to represent him, as an actor and as a historian in some respects." Unquote. Oh my God.
I can't believe I found this. He said that. He said that. That is exactly what How is that possible? Oh my God.
This was it. This was the cycle. I believed in it, but good God, I didn't know I was living it. Rick May wanted to properly display someone he looked up to on stage. He felt as if he had a real responsibility to do a role model, now long gone, justice. Fuck! He even used the word admire. Are you kidding me? No. No way. No way this actor of stage and film and voice had gone through the exact situation I am experiencing now. No way he had the same thinking process I have held on to for years. No way we share the same moral of art and dedication and honor. What is this? A coincidence? A cruel, untimely joke? Fate? Teddy Roosevelt meant so much to him, so in turn this role meant so much to him. And now Rick May means so much to me, so in turn this project means so much to me. And I hope that one day I mean so much to a young artist that in turn that kid creates something from how much I mean to them. Is that not the exact artistic connection I have been preaching and hoping and promoting to any artist who comes in contact with me? Is this not the proof I have been looking for? This quote came from passion, unfiltered zeal. He really dedicated himself to that role. It's a heartbreaking shame that there are 0 public videos of him on stage performing. But just... wow. Recording this now, I'm still in shock. What an honor to find a connection I didn't know I needed to discover. I am going to play a very specific piece for you. Some of you may know this piece from where it originates. Some of you may know this piece through me, which I'm honored. And some of you may not know this piece at all. Take the next few moments to listen to it in its entirety. How did that just make you feel? Nostalgic? Hopeful? Despaired? Some emotion that doesn't exist? Yeah, me too. What you just heard was a rocket jump waltz, a waltz, shockingly in 4/4 time, that was conducted for Fight Songs, an album produced for the previously mentioned video game Team Fortress 2. The 39-second arrangement is commonly associated with the soldier, as one of his gameplay gimmicks is to aim his rocket launcher at his feet, shoot it, and send him flying through the air. Thus, the title. And can you see where this is going? But hang on. As much as I want to believe this to be a beautiful piece orchestrated for Rick May's send-off, it's not that at all. This piece was finalized before the game even came out, before people started automatically associating it to the soldier, and eventually to Rick. No, there has to be another reason to why this piece pulls on my heartstrings so intensely. And it's not just me. For years, so many people have felt this same sort of heartache when listening to this arrangement. As for me personally, you could explain it as nostalgia, but I only recently found myself obsessed with the game, and even then I've barely played it. There's not much to be nostalgic for. You could say that it only hurts me so because I associate it so strongly to him, but I had heard the waltz before I was properly introduced to Rick May. This song, from the first note I heard, it just enticed me so. And ever since then, and especially now, the Rocket Jump Waltz has been haunting me. Why? What made this less than a minute arrangement so breathtaking? Was it just that? That it felt too short or uncomplicated or unfulfilling? Was it meant to be longer? Have a loop? What was the directions given to create such a piece? Was there any reason it was created in this specific way? What were the answers? Who had the answers? How could I find the answers? Wait, could I find the answers?
I wonder what Mike Moraski was thinking when he made this track. Well, you're about to find out, actually.
Jumping back to your music with Team Fortress 2, the Rocket Jump Waltz stands out to me among your work on Team Fortress 2. It is short, sweet, and simple, but I was wondering if there was anything more behind the song, inspiration, how it came to be, and if anything was planned for the waltz, or if it was just immediately and exactly what it needed to be the second it was done.
I had extra time, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and I had not written it. Nothing was prepared. I was there and I had extra time, and so it literally was. I think I should go through my notes. I mean, I have just stacks of notes. Anyway, somewhere I guarantee you I have me scratching out the, like, here's the chord changes, and I literally just assembled it with the pianist, the brass players, and then this fantastic clarinetist. But it was very much just like a sort of on the spot thing. But you can tell, like, it was part of, like, I already knew that the ba-da-da-da-da, that has that ending to it. But there wasn't quite enough time to, like, I literally thought of it and I was like, okay, well, let's just get this length and that'll be enough to make a statement, but not like, oh, I had no idea that it was going to be so great, honestly. And so if I had known, I would have designed something longer. In this case, it was just early, like I said, it was the second session. So I got something out of it, but it was just what it was. But in some ways too, like you said, it kind of is just perfect. Like, if I'd made it longer, it might have just not been as good.
Yeah.
Again, to me, that's very much TF2. Right?
Yes, absolutely. The charm that specifically comes off of Rocket Jump Waltz is indescribable.
Oh, great. That's very nice of you to say.
Of course. Straight from the composer's mouth. Holy shit. Seriously, thank you so much, Mike Moraski, for indulging in my obsession. And while this knowledge is so exciting to finally know, I find it amazing what the waltz has turned into. I really don't think it's an exaggeration to call this specific track Rick May's. It has become so tied to him, more so than the character it was actually created for, that to call this anything but a song for him would be wrong. He offered a new perspective, breathed new life into an already perfect track. And I find myself directly affected by the second wind that Rick May carried with him. It works, it's working, and it works, and it works, and it's working. I can't believe it works. Okay. Rick May was an actor of many talents, but truly, he was a stage actor first. I seriously can't help but reiterate, over 300 shows did he star in or direct for. 300. That is nothing less than amazing. And yet, not a single production he was in has been properly archived. Of course, to advance alongside technology, you don't get hindsight. For example, if I had known my memory would be so shot now, I would have recorded everything that happened to a younger me. Perhaps, similarly, if people knew that eventually the world would be left without public documentation of him, maybe we'd have entire performances of May, pouring his heart out on stage. But no. With all my hours of researching, I couldn't even find a half second of him on stage. And I just remember telling people just what I'd give to see him on stage. There's not a lot of information about him online, at least. There's only a few photos and no videos of him. Damn. Imagine if we had some videos of him on stage. That'd be so cool. I'd like to see what kind of stage actor he is. What techniques and how he incorporated movement with his voice. I think that would be so interesting. There's so little information and photos and videos of him. And it's such a shame. Because what an honor it would be to see him on stage. And despite that, I can picture it so vividly. But when I said that there was absolutely no public videos of Rick May performing, I may have lied. Remember that Thursday night? The one in which I found the quote? I didn't just find it. I found proof of it. Rick May's wiki page really is just a summary of all the information waiting at the bottom of the article. That gold mine. The references. Just above the link to the interview, at the very top of the list, is an archived website holding information barely younger than me. His portfolio. The specific page the Wayback Machine sends you to is dated August 22nd, 2006. It describes a quick history of Rick May's life up until then, while displaying a headshot, an address and phone number that are no longer what they used to be, and multiple other links to continue from. This biography's first link is a request to continue, but what I can presume to be the second half of the summary is not archived. The second is a main menu link that does work. The page is then displayed with new text in the previous box, introducing the website and giving some knowledge on what the site actually held. A link that would lead right back to the biography, headshot, and credit list, and downloads, and holy shit. Bully. This wasn't real, right? No way. This link, if I clicked on it, would the video attached still be preserved? Would this video actually download on my computer? Good God, would I see him alive and flourishing on stage? I didn't care to document my reaction, damn it, that can wait until after the video was secured. With a gasp rattling in my throat and tears already spilling, my shaken hands clicked on that link. And for half a second, nothing happened. And for half a second, I thought I had died. But no. The video, whatever it was, it started downloading. bullydemo.wmv. Oh my God. Oh my God. I double-click, expecting my computer screen to be filled with a moment stuck in time, but... No. No. I can't open it. I can't open it. This file is a Windows Media Video. WMV, and there was not a single Windows computer in my house. This was it. Even if I could get the video to open, what would be in it? Would it even work? Not like I would know. I was destroyed. Hopeless, so close, yet so far away. Damn it. I was going to give up. Truly. But then I remembered the last time I had felt this helpless. The last time. It was the first time I learned of his death. Watching that tribute. How did I get out of that funk then? Had I ever even recovered? What grounded me? My partner. My partner. They were there then, and oh my God, they had a Windows PC. If I could just send the file I downloaded already straight to them, they'd be able to send it back and I'd be set. Even if this video was nothing, even if it didn't work then, I wasn't going to give up. No. Not for this. Not for him.
Okay. I'm very tired. I will... Excuse me. I will be going to bed now. Tomorrow's another day. Good night.
It isn't until a few days later, Saturday, February 25th, 2023, do my partner and I have a chance to meet. We lost track of time, and it being a late night with curfews to follow, we found ourselves, 11 p.m., running out of time. Everything happened frighteningly quick. The file I had sent over to their computer refused to load, leaving me to think that it wasn't a matter of my computer at all. The entire video was just gone. That aching hopelessness filled me, reached my core, my spirit. I don't know how well I hid it, but the lack of a result ate away at me in those moments. How did I get here? Why didn't I do this earlier? How many people am I going to disappoint if I can't archive this demo? Seriously, has anyone else seen this before? And if so, when was the last time someone touched this video? Has anyone even known of its existence till now? What was this, forgotten media? When was the last time someone touched this video? The last time someone saw it? Was there anything to see? Dear God, how did I get here? The website. If the file I sent wasn't working, then surely the file embedded into Rick's old portfolio would. Get it straight from the source. It was the only choice I had left, and goddammit, it was one I was going to try. I took the PC in my hands, typed with trembling fingers at the keys, and started on the route I originally discovered 3 days prior. Wiki, references, first link, main menu, bully demo. There it was. There was no time to document this moment, no time to snatch my phone, no time at all. That is how quickly the video downloaded. The second I pressed the link for the demo, the video, over a decade old, immediately revealed itself. It was real. Oh my God, it was real. There wasn't time to watch it now, no. Hell, I even looked away in order to not spoil myself of the archived artistry I had in my grasp. My partner sent the file back to me, now fully downloaded, and the drive home was hell. The first thing I did when I arrived home, now certain that this video would once again keep me up far past a reasonable hour, was watch it. The video, the demo of Bully, starring Rick May as Theodore Roosevelt. This is what I saw.
President Roosevelt? Yes, go ahead, put him on. Hello, Cabot, how are you? Yes, Bully, thank you, fine. What? No, I haven't read it. Go ahead, read it to me. What is it, son? Just a moment, Cabot. Quentin's just come in. Oh, Quinty Quee, you brought your new raccoon pets in to see me. Let me see them. Let me out. Just a little love nip, that's all. Just a little love nip. What's that, dear? 4 o'clock? Certainly. Pillows at 4 o'clock. Won't fail you, my boy. Yes, Cabot. What? Oh, no, I'm sucking my finger. No. No, I was bit by one of Quentin's raccoon pets. Obviously a Democrat. Now, Cabot. Don't go on about Alice. She's just high-spirited, that's all. I mean, good heavens, Cabot, she's 19 years old, but... She what? At the Vanderbilt's party. Alice fired a toy pistol with dynamite caps at Mrs. Vanderbilt. No. I don't think it's funny. It's hilarious!
I almost don't want to put the first public appearance of this video in this documentary. No, something this marvelous, this big, it deserves its own place entirely, which I promise I will provide on my account as well. The full, uninterrupted, genuine 2 minutes and 4 seconds of Rick May on stage. What an honor. How lucky I am to have the opportunity to see this feat, to share it all with you, to protect and preserve a piece of his legacy no longer behind the barrier of time. I think back to the quote, and then I think forwards to the video, and how those two discoveries complement each other so marvelously. Without one, the other is less impactful. The quote, while beautiful and personally haunting, has no proof of his genuine efforts and dedication in practice, and the video, while breathtaking and awe-inspiring, is left devoid with no prior knowledge of how important this role was to him. This video was meant to be seen. This quote was meant to be heard. This role was important to him, as this discovery is important to me. That's not all I've been working on, though, is it?
Oh my God, how did I do this? I don't think I'll ever be able to do this again.
I am not an artist. Not of the brush, not of the pen, not of the body. I am truly a very talentless person. The activities I once used to trump are no longer ones I find myself succeeding in. I used to be an artist of the body. I struggle to be an artist of the pen, and I'll never be an artist of the brush. But there is one art that I flourish in. It is the one art I know I was made for. The art of the voice. And so, when faced with the undying need to honor a voiceover idol of mine, what am I to do? Say some words into a microphone? Use what talent I hold in my voice to thank him? No, that's not enough. I can't just make an hour-long documentary of me crying over public information. No, I need to create my own special tribute, one that is just as much for me as it is for him. Something to look at if I ever doubt myself. Something to gift him if he ever sees it. Something full of my admiration and something brimming with his inspiration.
I'm gonna finish this and it's gonna look great. And I'll be able to hang it up in my room. And whenever I'm feeling down, I'll be able to look at it and know for certain that I can make him proud.
I will become an artist. Body, pen, brush. if it means I can create this gift from me to him, just as I was given one, from him to me.
I'll never know if I can make him proud. And when people tell me I do, it's nothing. Because I don't know. How could they?
I don't remember when Rick May went from a name that occasionally popped up in my head to a voice that now follows my every step. Between the moment I learned of his death to the moment I first fully realized his influence on me, something must have changed. There certainly was a shift, I just have no documentation of this progression, from acknowledging him as a late actor to fully realizing the effect he has on me. I must have done something. Search his name out of curiosity, discover the waltz via that search, dip my foot into the rabbit hole I would completely fall into no less than a month later. Either way, when that shift happened, it was a permanent change. And I knew it. I called it. From the second I connected the dots, the second I fell back into my seat, the second I thought, here we go again, I knew this would happen. It was only a matter of time, and oh, how time is cruel. I can't stress enough how a situation like this can completely and utterly destroy you. I touched on it lightly before, but truly, there is an unending guilt that comes with dilatory grieving. A guilt that you could have learned about this person sooner. A guilt that you could have met this person eventually. A guilt that you could have thanked them. A guilt that you can't. A guilt that you'll never be able to. A guilt that will never leave. The feeling persisted, and it festered, and it grew, and it consumed me. This project has consumed me. I got captivated, hell-bent, fixated, determined to do something, to prove myself worthy of feeling this way. The most important thing in my entire life became this. I needed time, resources, energy, ideas. I quit extracurriculars that weren't directly contributing to my progress. I stopped spending time away from the work. I isolated myself and my mind for weeks just creating. And when I wasn't creating, I was thinking, tuning out conversations in favor of discussions with myself over this project, staying up and brainstorming until my eyelids physically could not stay open, holding back panic attacks and hiding my tears in class, at home, in public, because my mind refused to stop thinking. And then it got physical. Sitting, cramped and dissociated, frozen in time, refusing to eat or drink or stretch or move until I am done with a piece of work. Shaking and looming over a toilet bowl, praying through gritted teeth and a tightened throat that the anxiety in my chest will leave if I physically get out what is boiling inside of me. Sobbing until I'm shuddering, gasping for air, feeling my body heave, my temperature burn at the back of my neck and the tips of my ears, over-exhausting myself until I nearly faint. Even now, when was the last time I felt normal? I haven't gone a full day in weeks without one of my eyes twitching. I haven't woken up without an immediate anxiety in my chest. I can't remember. I can't even remember the exact moment I decided I needed to begin this project, or when I officially started developing it. It feels like years, and also not even a full day. Eternity. How long have I been here? How long until I won't be here? How long until I can feel normal again? How long until April 13th? Why did I start so late? Why did I waste so many days? Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this? For who? Oh. This project is killing me. Every instinct in my body is telling me to stop. Every person in my life is begging me to be safe. Even I know that Rick May wouldn't want me destroying myself over him. But these emotions, this heartbreak, the pain, it all would have happened if I had done this project or not. I have to do this. I need to. Or else all this passion will be for naught. Can I make him proud? I am writing this now, reading it in the future, and when you're hearing it, it'll be in the past. But something that will stay consistent throughout all of this, from the beginning to far past the end, is Rick May's impact on me. I am writing this section on March 13th. I have only a month left to complete this experience. The pressure has never been greater. But there is something so marvelous, so relieving that makes this process not so scary. I have imagined what will happen on that day, a month away from me, a present moment for you and soon to be a past memory. And I think of the strangers who have no clue who I am or why this is so dear to me. And I think of the friends who have unknowingly been witness to my mental spiral. And I think of the family who have grown used to my depressive state. I think of Rick May. And I think of the people who will see this, the people who need to see this. And I feel okay. The guilt, the mind-splitting guilt. The guilt is not here with me. And in its place, what it leaves me with, it leaves me to ask, not to you and not to myself, was it worth it? Dear Rick May. Hey, Mr. May. I hope that this letter finds you well. I hope that it finds you at all. I have been making a gift, project, spectacle to honor your legacy. 3 years ago, we commemorated April 13th as Soldier Day, a day dedicated fully to celebrating your accomplishments. I say we, but I was not involved. This year will actually be the first I am able to properly participate, and I want to do so by sending you this letter, creating this art piece, documenting your life spent with the arts. But in doing so, I fear that I have done the opposite. I admit that you are on my mind often, to the point where I am certain that you've never left my thoughts for a moment. And it is because of that I fear I've dehumanized you, set you on a pedestal that you can neither accept nor deny, handed you an award you weren't even nominated for. I fear that I have been thinking of you metaphorically rather than realistically. And the truth I have to face is no amount of research or artistic expression or destructive mental injury will ever confirm nor deny that allegation. I don't know you. I never have, and I never will. And yet, I have hope. Hope that when it is my time, fate will take me by the hand, lead me out of this world, and somewhere, both detailed and obsolete in nature, somehow, against all odds, I will finally get the chance to meet you, face to face, in spirit. Maybe then I'd know the answer. Whether you can hear my voice or not, whether we will meet one day or forever stay strangers, please, let me ask you, Rick May, have I made you proud?